Okay, section D2 is about section breaks, columns, and page breaks. Now, section breaks are really an important tool to use in documents. It allows you to put a break or a spot where you're going to stop formatting, stop the document as it exists, and you may want to change the orientation of a page. Say you may want to put in a landscape format table, or you may want to change the font or the layout or the actual margins, anything like that in the document. A section break allows you to make that change, and you can change the style, you can change a lot of things, and then you can go back later on after you do those first changes and actually change the document back to the original style. So we're going to go on to creating sections and columns. Down at the bottom of page 80 there is actually this table that you see here that shows you about what kind of breaks you're putting in. Next page, continuous, even page, or on page, and the option gives you a lot of opportunities to adjust how you put your section breaks in. And I see that there's a typo in this slide from the manufacturer, so we're going to get rid of that. That looks a lot better. Next, if you look on page 81, it shows you how to set up columns, and it shows you about the section breaks and columns that it's putting in here. Section 1 on the document D4 shows you that they've got that first part of that document set up as a full width document or one column document, and then after you go through the subheading, then they change it to a two column document, which is one way that you may want to use the section break. So let's pull up a document. I just want to show you a little bit in a document itself. We've got this Odyssey invite that we've been using all along in Word. Okay, when you want to add some generic text into a document so you can practice with the format of it, things like that, I'm going to add on some generic text on the bottom of this letter. For some reason I can't see. There we go. Second page of the letter, we're going to put in the symbol equal and a lorem, and then a space and two parentheses, so that you're basically telling it I want to put in some text, and it actually adds that text to the document. We're going to add that a few times, so I'm going to just copy and paste this in a few times. Control copy, Control C, remember Control C is copy, and Control V is paste. We're just going to put a lot of this in here just so that we can add it to this document. So we've got several pages of a letter now. So say we wanted to change this letter like it shows in slide 11 on page 81, figure D4. You can see here what we're looking at as far as what I was just talking about the full width and the double width. Let's go back to that letter and let's see about putting a header in this letter. Let's make this October 12th. Let's make this a lot bigger and center it. So that would be like a header in a newsletter. And then at the end of that, we're going to show all of our paragraph returns. Okay, if we go back here, go to the end of October 12th, we've already put on the paragraph marks. You can see that shows up. And at the end of this, we're going to put in a section break. So if you go to page layout, go to breaks, and we're going to go into a section break that's going to start a new section. We're going to put that right. New section on the same page. So you see you've got a section break there. Now we're going to let's take away a couple of these returns here, and let's move this up. Now let's take this extra text down here and let's convert that into a two-column document. So we're going to, under columns, and this is all in the page layout tab, under columns we're going to set this as two columns. And you see having that section break there allows me to have one column to start with, and then two columns next, and then back here it goes back to the single column, and down here it's a single column. So let's take this, let's put another section break in at the end of this, continuous section break there, and we're going to take this, we'll make this two columns. Now let's make this three columns, and then you can see at the end here it inserted a section break again, so it would go back. Let's go to two columns, and then another section break after that, and then we'll leave this as regular width. So that shows you how that works pretty well within an existing document. So when you're changing the page layout settings for each section, Each section can have different sizes, page orientation, headers, footers, etc. And this is extremely useful if you have a table you want to insert that's a different layout like I was mentioning before. Now to insert a page break's the next time of break we're going to talk about. Now each line, as you continually type on a line, it automatically wraps the page or wraps the text to the next line. What's considered to be a soft page break is when you get to the bottom of the page, it automatically goes to the next page. But you can force a hard page break by inserting page break like we did in the area with the page layout, inserting a page break, and then it'll actually start a new page. So let's bring up that Word document again. Now say we are, we're right here. Let's say we want to put in a page break right here. So basically you get your insertion point, put your cursor right there, and page layout, click on breaks, and we're going to do page break right now. So we'll click on page, and you see it automatically grab that and threw it on the next page. You can set a page break in mid-sentence. You can set it just about any place, and it allows you to insert the page break. And as you can see with our cursor design markings showing, you can see where the page break and the section breaks are. Makes it a lot easier to see. And then when you go back to your home page, you can remove those markers to actually not see what you may not want to see. Page break's important if you need to have certain stops in text or you want things to flow a certain way. So inserting page breaks on this document, you see how we put a page break. This is on page 82 and 83. How they forced a page break here so that the actual text will flow to the next page before it starts with a new header, rather than having a new header and splitting up a couple lines. They wanted to take it to the next line. Now if you also look at page 83, you can see this type of breaks as far as what you can insert. You can insert a page break, column break, or text wrapping, and it allows you to make those choices as far as how you're going to make those page breaks.